going on? I want to follow up a little bit more on this crackrifice operations that they do on people, and how, wait, once you break it down, it takes a real drug addict to actually look at it and be able to discern it for you. Dave Chappelle did a great job with how come every time they find a dead black guy, he's got crack sprinkled all over him. Listen, if you know anything about crackheads, if they were really on crack, it would be gone. Crack doesn't last like that. And just because it's drug related for some reason, it's not murder. It's just it's the jungle cleaning itself up. Okay. And this is a telltale sign that, look, something's going on here. When you got Whitney Houston dies in a bathtub, then her daughter dies in a freaking bathtub the same freaking way. Just like with Brittany Murphy died because she was a meth addict and then in a bathtub, and then a year later her handler husband is dead in the same spot. You know what I'm saying? It's just, listen, that's lightning striking twice in the same exact freaking spot. I mean, it does happen, but it doesn't happen to all these different type of people. What's that dude's name from the Hunger Games who died and right before the Super Bowl? And once again, it's like a heroin addict. I mean, I'm not no expert on heroin. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. I've never really dabbled in it. So, and I don't want to. I know many people who have. I have family members who got smoked by it. Basically got given a hot hit down in Detroit in the Purple Gang days. You know what I'm saying? So look, I know about these things. But that dude who got killed, once again, it's like someone went in and sprinkled a bunch of bags on him. And it's like, normally if someone intends to OD to death and really sacrifices themselves, and it's not some Heath Ledger freaking suicide apotheosis, it's basically, I think it's Romeo and Juliet programming, you know what I'm saying? And it was done at some other person's apartment. It's kind of like, listen, here's another telltale freaking sign something's going on. They had a freaking party while Whitney Houston's laying in a freaking bathtub, dying or dead of a drug overdose. Like Jim Morrison, they showed this picture of him laying in the bathtub. He OD'd on alcohol. You know how much freaking alcohol you really have to drink to get OD'd? Like, there was this serial killer in Canada. They kept finding all these dead Indian chicks that were like, they had way too much alcohol in them. Like, someone literally had to put a fucking funnel down the throat and then pour it down in the throat. And once again, a British intelligence hit. They when they take you out, it's so embarrassing that it helps cover it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's another telltale freaking sign. Like, it's also telegraphed on the X-Files that the psychic tells Mulder he's going to die of autoerotic asphyxiation. And it's like, people really, like, look, throughout history, how many people really die of that? Lightning striking twice, Robin Williams and David Carradine. Come on, dude. You know, and then they showed him in the last movie he did with Rob Schneider. It's called, what was it called, man? It was about the dude was going to prison, so he has to learn kung fu from this dude. And he tightens him up, but it showed him sitting there, and it looked like he was whacking it, but he was really polishing a freaking knife. And come to find out, he's impotent anyway. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it even shows you in the movie that, look, the dude really didn't kill himself that way. It's just they set his ass up. You know what I'm saying? And it's how sad. And I think Randy Quaid can corroborate that. And you don't hear much from him anymore. They must have sent him to rehab. And, you know, they've reinforced his programming. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. That's a little bit of exaggeration. Sometimes I do exaggerate out of the spirit of trying to make light of these horrible freaking situations that we find ourselves in. And look, when they do that, I mean, I didn't know the guy personally. But look, you just don't do these things to people. It ain't right. And no one has the balls to come out and call these frickers out a little bit and be like, wait a second, man. How you just gonna dangle it in my face like that and expect not to get nut checked? You know what I'm saying? How you think? What? You made a gross misunderestimation, man. And this is really how it boils down. It's like you keep pushing and pushing. It's like, look, I keep letting you sit. I keep thinking, let you think you can keep pushing me, and then finally, when you go to push, instead I move out the way, you fall down. Quit pushing. You know what I'm saying? There's another X-Files episode, The Pusher. You know what I'm saying? And there's more. Look, commit suicide. Get it all over. Oh, cerulean blue, like this shirt right here. You like this? You know what I'm saying? You want a nice, comfortable. So, and once again, this is all part of the Magician's Act, and they really false flag and patsy other things, and they use other targeted individuals to torture other targeted individuals without them knowing. It's called the double mirror. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't know. It's you say something randomly, but the person you say it to has been programmed for that to trigger anxiety in them, and then you get the normal fight or flight, and it sucks. And that's The Pusher was capitalizing on that. He was privy to it, and supposedly it came from him tumor in his head. I mean, but can you see that? That's neural programming. The way I talk normal like this, and also I go into this character, and I'm trying to slip